The Saskatchewan government's throne speech in late October was overshadowed by who was in the chamber audience. Convicted killer Colin Thatcher was seated on the floor of the legislature for the first time since he was an elected MLA in 1983. Thatcher's presence was first defended by MLA Lyle Stewart, who had invited him, and by Minister of Corrections Christine Tell. 5 days later, Premier Scott Moe apologized and said Thatcher should not have been invited.
It was a mistake, one that the Premier addressed on behalf of all of us. But we are very focused on the government agenda and got back to our agenda very quickly.
Bill number 88, the Saskatchewan First Act.
The government's first order of business was to introduce the Saskatchewan First Act, a bill meant to protect the province's resources from federal intrusion. That act has since been overshadowed by the Alberta government's Alberta Sovereignty Act, which is already being tweaked after some criticism. The Saskatchewan government decided this fall to shut down SLGA stores. It established a new marshal service and is creating a new Saskatchewan Revenue Agency, which will collect and administer taxes. And speaking of money, the province also mailed out $500 affordability checks.
We also have committed additional dollars in a plan for health care for recruitment, retention, training, and incentivizing more workers, recognizing that there is stress in the healthcare system. We also addressed stresses within education by providing additional dollars for inflation.
The opposition says that spending is not enough. Opposition leader Carla Beck says some of the projected $1.1 billion government surplus should go towards helping people with the rising cost of living.
The fact that people are struggling in Saskatchewan in a way that is worse than most other provinces on most indicators, and connect that to the choices that this government has made, raising fees and taxes, raising power bills, raising energy bills, refusing to provide affordability relief behind those or besides those checks.
Beck says two of the government's main bills, the Saskatchewan Revenue Agency and the Saskatchewan First Act, aren't priorities for the people of the province. The opposition and the government will get a chance to debate those bills in committee in the spring. The spring sitting of the legislature will start in March, with the budget to be released later in the month. Adam Hunter, CBC News, Regina.